Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are in the southern desert near the river, just a bit south of Sinner's Refuge, building an apartment complex. This build was suggested by Rufus Domitian on my bank build guide, so thank you for the suggestion, Rufus. This build is designed as a housing complex for either thralls or exiles, and contains a mixture of modest and luxury housing to keep the residents safe from the harsh exiled lands. Even more important than safety from the exiled lands though, is safety on the internet. This build is again brought to you in collaboration with NordVPN. NordVPN is the best rated VPN service available, providing servers in over 60 countries, double data encryption, 24/7 customer support and more. Nord helps you to browse the internet safely and securely, whether it's for unblocking censored content in your country, or simply just watching shows you can't normally get on Netflix. It's simple to use, one click and you are connected and instantly protected. NordVPN gets my full recommendation. So if you want to stay safe on the internet today, make sure to visit nordvpn.org/eradyt or use code eradyt at checkout to get 70% off a 3-year deal. That's $3.49 a month, an absolute steal for such a quality product. And of course it also helps me out too. A massive thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring myself and again my content. So, without further ado, let's get into this build. Firstly, we're going to start off with the base plate. On my first draft of this build, the base plate was initially much larger and was structured differently. However, that initial design resulted in an extremely ugly and imbalanced looking build that didn't really look right. Therefore, this time I went with a rectangular base plate, with the intention that all apartments would be contained within this rectangle as it rises in height. This sounds a lot like a tower block design, but instead I'll be aiming to have it so that each floor slopes backwards and recesses, to give the build a bit more of an interesting structure. I'm using arena foundations for the outside floor, as they're a relatively clean stone structure. I'll then be using Yamatai on the interior of the build to introduce a cleaner, brighter and generally more homely element. Next I started off on the walls. I'll be again using Yamatai for the walls. I first started off with the ground floor, covering the perimeter of the Yamatai foundations with walls, including building out a small 3x1 section at the back of the build for elevator access to the penthouse. I'll also be creating a few small rooms on this floor, one in the front right and 2 either side of the elevator shaft, which will be rooms for the staff that work in this complex. I'll also be using Yamatai fences to mark out where I want the front desk to be, along with some planters near the entrance to the staircase. I built this floor 2 tiles high and then capped it off with Yamatai ceilings. Next for the first floor. This is where the actual apartments start. I first created a 2-tile wide balcony, which will be the same on every floor to ensure the building sort of slopes backwards as I mentioned earlier. I used the walls to draw out 3 rooms on this floor, 1 larger more luxury apartment and 2 smaller more modest ones. This will be the same sort of format for this floor and the second floor, so each floor holds 3 separate apartments for a total of 6. It's definitely possible to make this floor hold 4 or even 5 apartments if you have more people that you need to fit inside the complex. It's entirely up to you. I again built the walls 2 tiles high and then covered the build with Yamatai ceilings. Next, for the second floor, I basically followed the same format as the first floor, adjusting the positioning and sizes of the apartments to fit within the size constraints of this floor. I again covered the layer with Yamatai ceilings when it was done. Next, the third floor, which will be the penthouse. This floor is 1 apartment, and it's the most expensive apartment to rent within the complex. Again, I introduced the 2 tile wide balcony, and then I cut off the stairs to ensure that only the elevator can access this floor. I then built the walls up 2 tiles high again, finishing off the floor with a flat apex Yamatai roof, finished with wall caps and rooftop pieces. I kept the roof visible from inside the penthouse to increase the feeling of grandeur. I did encounter some stability issues during the building of the roof that forced me to rearrange the structure of some of the walls below this floor, but in general it wasn't too bad. I only had to move a couple of pieces. Finally, I placed doors and fences around the build, then covering the balconies and the perimeter of the build on the arena foundations with Yamatai awnings to better accentuate the sloping design. Finally, when the shell of the build was done, it was then time to, of course, furnish. Approaching the build, I've lit it with, you guessed it, aquilonian hanging braziers, though I have also included some ground braziers outside near the seating areas. Entering the lobby, this area is designed nicely as the welcome point for residents and visitors. The front desk is always manned by at least one member of staff, with a waiting area just behind the desk for visitors. Entering the break room, this is where the members of staff will eat, drink and read during their breaks. Heading into the staircase section, there are two side rooms. These are for maintenance and storage respectively, where repairs on the complex can be carried out and various important things are stored, be that money, resources, paperwork, etc. Heading up the stairs we reach the first floor, containing apartments 1 through 3. Apartment 1 is a nice cosy apartment for two, featuring plenty of room, along with a well-stocked kitchen. The balcony also provides some fairly nice views across the surrounding area. Apartment 2 is much more modest, yet still fairly cosily designed, whereas Apartment 3 is a bit more cluttered, yet still provides a comfortable place to sleep at the end of the day. Heading upstairs we reach apartments 4 through 6. Apartment 4 is the home of an alcoholic writer, who spends most of his days locked in this room, attempting to write another masterpiece. Apartment 5 is... It's best we just ignore that and close the door. Apartment 6 is a family apartment for 3 people. This apartment definitely is a little more cramped, but is still well furnished in terms of the kitchen, dining room and bedrooms, and again the balcony provides some great views. Finally, let's head back down and up the elevator to reach the penthouse. This being the most expensive apartment in the building, the penthouse is a large and spacious open plan room that is designed for the more discerning resident. And there we have it, an apartment complex in the southern desert, just south of Sinner's Refuge. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Rufus for the build suggestion. This build came out quite nicely, better than I expected actually. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and let me know in the comments below if you have any build suggestions for future videos. As usual, anything is welcome. Don't forget to both follow me on Twitch and join the fun on our Discord through the links in the description. Also, don't forget you can get 70% off NordVPN when you use code ERADYT at checkout, or you can go through the affiliate link in the description and the pinned comment below. YouTube is currently my full-time source of income, so if you enjoy the content and would like to help support the channel so I can continue to put out the best content possible, do consider becoming a patron. There are multiple tiers of support from $1 to $20, offering many different benefits from a mention in every video to Discord roles, and even sneak peeks of every new video before anyone else. The link to my Patreon is always in the description, so if you'd like to support the channel, do feel free to consider becoming a patron. On that note, a thanks to our current patrons Sammy, Sir Dialot, Randar, Motals and Dumbfox. If you're new here, feel free to check out the rest of the content on the channel. There are new Conan Exiles videos coming every Wednesday and Sunday. So if you like what you see, subscribe and ring the notification bell to be the first to see the next video, and to join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.